I'll end up double parking right here at the Apple because they're all partiers, unless you added parking. In the written Hawaiian language, we use 13, along with two very important pieces of punctuation, okay? So it's simplistic in that way, in that respect. However, it gets more complicated because we have words in the Hawaiian language that mean more than one thing, depending on the context of which it's used. Like this morning, we used the word aloha. You guys were awesome. Thank you for such a great greeting. You were greeting me saying hello. The phrase aloha kakahiaka, that's a specific fish that is abundantly in the waters here in Kahala. It's the great amberjack fish. Okay. In a few moments, we're not too far from it now, this development that we've been driving through, this development area is known as Hawaii Kai. Hawaii Kai. Hawaii and the word K-A-I. Now, given the Hawaiian language lesson I just gave you, Hawaii Kai, you think means the ocean, the Kai, right? Ocean of Hawaii. Now, that would be an accurate description because this is, in fact, an oceanside community, right? If you look into your right-hand side, there's the Kai. Yeah. But this is the one exception to the Hawaiian language lesson rule, and let me explain why. Hawaii Kai, the name of this development, is actually short for the name Hawaii Kaiser. The name Kaiser, as in Henry J. Kaiser. Some of you might recognize that name. Henry J. Kaiser, big time tycoon, corporation, developer. Came here, 1950s, developed this area of land. Called it Hawaii Kaiser, they shortened the name to Kai. Kaiser just didn't roll off the tongue right, I guess.
This is our tour bus for the trip today. We're stopping right now at Hananama Bay.
Blowhole was formed, but the blowhole itself is a sea cave, what we call a lava tube. As the lava rolls into the ocean and cools, it forms an underwater cave. And in this case, in the lava tube, the top portion of the cave is above the surface of the water. So as the waves and swells roll into this sea cave or lava tube, hit the inner walls, and eventually over time and through deterioration, bore out a hole. Inside this sandy cove, Halona Cove. Now, Halona Cove has a nickname too, family. You're going to like this. It's called Eternity Beach. You see how the folks are scaling down the rocks there? That's a common path to get down and up from that area. If you wanted to visit there, maybe not so much on our visit now, but if you wanted to come back. This is not a swimmer's beach. This beach is for experienced boogie boarders and body surfers only, okay? Now, we talked about nicknames. This one has a nickname that's so provocative. It is known as... Off in the distance, the two landmasses you see, those islands, serve as bird sanctuary for Hawaii's seabirds of albatross and terns. The larger island, the island of Manana, nicknamed Rabbit Island, and the smaller one, Ka'ohikaipu. If you can see over your right-hand side out the windows, the back side is the entrance leading into Sea Life Park. Sea Life Park is totally different. An area where guests, if they book a day here, they have the opportunity to be named of this part of the highway. As we pass these little intersections, look at the Green Street sign. It has a long Hawaiian name, okay? The name of this highway is called Kalani Ana Ole. Kalani Ana Ole. Look to your left, you can see that long name. Alright, that name is the last name of Hawaii's first delegate to Congress back in 1902, Prince Jonah Kuhio Kalani Ana Ole. Okay? Now what he did, and the reason why they have this part of the highway named after him through this town, what he did in 1921 is he introduced an act into Congress to benefit the Hawaiian people. It was called the Hawaiian Homestead Act. This act set aside lands that the U.S. had acquired over the many years, and the U.S. would lease, and still do, they leased the land to the native Hawaiian people who could prove at least 50% Hawaiian bloodline going back 3 generations. They leased the land at a highly discounted rate at $1 a year for 99 years. From there, the native Hawaiian people, like a land reparation of sorts, would take the land, build their home on that land, and there they would live. Waimanalo was one of those first areas on this island of Oahu set aside for homestead land. So in the year 2010, doing the math, 99 years later, that contract was up. So they renewed the contract to its current rate at $100 a year for 99 more years. Them of the hats they wore in the field, they nicknamed it Chinaman's Hat. Yeah, Chinaman's Hat Island. But to Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Tears of the Sun with Bruce Willis, Mighty Joe Young, you know, the Disney movie with the big gorilla, also filmed here. Oh, really quick to the left. This is what remains of the old sugar mill of Kualoa Ranch. Also scenes of movies like 51st Dates, the movie Pearl Harbor, with Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, or Josh Hartnett rather. What else is there? Oh, for those of you who are fans of The Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson filmed the movie The Rundown here, and is currently on the island filming the upcoming movie Jumanji 2. As a matter of fact, they're out there filming right now around the bend. Beautiful coastal drive. Now if you look to the left-hand side, you see this vast valley to our immediate left, the Ka'ava Valley. This is the area that is played as the backdrop to many of those movies. If you remember way back to the original Jurassic Park movie, and when they were running alongside those little dinosaurs, the Gallimimus, that was filmed here, running the Gallimimus. Most recently Jurassic World, when the boys are in the big clear gyrospheres going through the valley, also here. Once again, Disney's Mighty Joe Young, the home of Mighty Joe, okay? Don't let that truck fool you. Giovanni's is the most visited shrimp establishment on this island. That includes trucks, shacks, and restaurants. That little white truck will push out anywhere between 1,500 and 2,000 shrimp plates a day. Easy, okay? And this recipe for garlic shrimp, one of the 2 wind farms, or the windmills, that are on this island, the Kahuku Wind Farm. But to our now right-hand side, you see these ponds of water. They just emptied these out a couple of days ago, so they're filling them back up. They're piping in actual salt water, ocean water, to fill these up. This is the Kahuku Shrimp and Pond Farm. And there's Romy's. Romy's is probably the most visited shrimp shack on the island. In the spoken language, now we change a little bit about the word. Okay, a second very important piece of punctuation. We have the okina, the apostrophe. Now this one is called the kohola. The kohola is a straight line. Is Waimea Bay. This bay was made even more popular in a song by the Beach Boys called Surfin' USA, if you remember it. They do, however, mispronounce it. Down the bushes enough. There it is. You got about a dozen kids off there, getting ready to do the jump. 30-foot jump off that rock. That one has a simple name too. It's known as Jump Rock. Jump Rock, Waimea, true story. Jump Rock, Waimea Bay. Very popular jumping spot, especially in the summertime when it's hot. Turtles. Green sea turtles all on the shore, not to be mistaken for rocks. You guys can see some of them, right? See where the groups of people are standing? That's some big sea turtles out there. I see them. This is Lani Akea Beach. Laniakea Beach has a nickname too. It's known as Turtle Beach. Not to be confused with Turtle Bay, the resort, okay? This is called Turtle Beach because this is a place where you can see actual sea turtles all year long. No rhyme or reason to when they come up on shore, but they're there, either right on the water's edge or they bring themselves right on the shoreline. What draws them here are a number of things. One, the lava rock in combination with the sand, okay? Together, on that lava rock, they get algae, okay? That algae is the sea turtle's favorite snack. They like to eat that, okay? So that brings them here. See on your map, okay? Waianae, a little over 4 million years old. This time of the day, Monday through Friday, to the left-hand side, you see the parking lot known as the H1 West, where folks are heading back home. And we're in the top 3, believe it or not. Hawaii. To the right, we have Honolulu International Airport. We're getting close to Waikiki. Honolulu International Airport brings in around 4.3 million visitors every year that spend their time right here in Ohau.
Find a pot of gold.
I know, I don't want to hit the pot of gold. Right off to the right, you're going to see the skyline. So the skyline you see, not to be confused with Waikiki where you folks are staying. That's actually downtown Honolulu, Part B, the section of downtown tour. Now left-hand side, 1 block in. Is Kewalo Harbor. Now to our right, just about every ocean-related activity you want to do will be found here. Everything from water skiing to speedboat. The speedboat that leaves out here takes you for a ride out there. Also, big game fishing. That's a good one. Targeting a fishing boat. We also do here at Kewalo Harbor. And that's our first stop. Next one's going to be the Ilikai Hotel. That's flagpole curbside in front of the Ilikai. Then after that, we have the drop-off for the pickup at the Gateway Hotel. Then on Seaside Avenue, and that's over by the Ross stores, where parking was a nightmare this morning. Do you remember that? Yes. And then after that, the Hyatt Regency.